As I said before, and I say it again, you've got to get out of these cities. New York City, we're going to discuss what happened with Independence Day, pretty much, in New York, and no one stood against it. It's amazing, so many years ago, we complained about a 2% tax, and then we started a whole new movement of freedom in America, and made America what it is. And now we've actually not realized how valuable that is, because we didn't learn from history to now start repeating it. I think about yesterday how we had independence. At the same time, the UK, who we declared independence from so long ago, just elected someone who wants to be more about immigration, more about liberal ways, more about control, and they voted on him overwhelmingly. So the world is going crazy. Now, is America willing to stand up and show freedom and be the America that it's supposed to be? Well, if it's any signs of our cities, what just happened in New York City, I don't know, I'm a little worried. I'm anxious to see what the next few weeks and months look like because, for instance, we'll talk about the 2 quotes that Biden made yesterday, but again, he's still leading a party in America. Now, I hope he's the one leading the party, but it's actually an utter embarrassment for America to have this guy leading us. Let's discuss all that. New York City, the president, and what just happened in the UK, and it could be happening here if we're not paying attention. Let's dive in.
About to leave, already packed.
Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up. We need that so much, and we need you to share our videos. We have been held down really bad this last few weeks, and it's all because we're speaking truth. When we speak truth, we give truth to power. Power means we start gaining more wisdom, more independence, more sustainability. And when we do that, we're something to be reckoned with, especially when we start getting more awakened instead of woke. Guys, let's talk about today's video. New York City starting us off. Yesterday, I'm going to read this article. On Independence Day, and this is again why I say you've got to get out of these bigger cities. Now, I know people say, oh, you don't need to move to rural areas. The people that are willing to move are the people who are needing to get out of these areas. It's not the people who believe like these city people do. But it's this pro-Hamas activists were literally seen burning American flags outside the city hall, not only in New York City, but in Philadelphia yesterday. So something that stands for symbolism, which is our day. Remember, we get one day a year, a birthday a year, while all these other agendas get 100 days a year. And instead of us honoring freedom and having a time of celebration, these immigrants who actually are not part of America, a lot of these are illegal immigrants, and also they're not assimilating, especially when we allow them in for quote-unquote amnesty or for refugee status. What they're actually doing is showing they don't care about America. So they were shown yesterday on July 4th waving their own flags, waving the Palestinian flags while burning American flags. And we allowed them to do it. Now, if this would have happened so many years ago when we were complaining about 2% tax and went to war over it and then that became really the start of our independence, what do you think that our forefathers, our leaders would actually say about what's going on now? Our cities are falling to pieces, and this is in front of city halls now. They're not doing this in some absconded way. They're showing it right in front of burning our flag along with waving pro-Palestinian flags. Now you tell me, in St. Petersburg, Florida, just a few days ago, a kid got arrested for hate for driving on a road that they painted a pride flag on. That's not freedom. He gets a hate crime, but this person can burn the American flag, and that's considered, that's his right. That's a topsy-turvy world. What that means is you got to get out of these cities that have liberal policies because they are ruining it, and you will be persecuted for it. So we're going to allow them to keep burning our flag and wave other flags in the name of freedom for them? No, what they're actually doing is they are stomping on what we've stood for so long, and our leaders are allowing us to do it. And that rolls right into the second part of the video, where we see Biden, who is allowing this to happen. Now, do I believe we need martial law or National Guard to step in? No. I just believe we need a leader who's willing to say, look, these police are going to enforce our laws, the real laws, meaning don't discriminate our own flag. That's not freedom, that's hate. And quit painting murals on the road because that's what we drive on. So therefore, tire marks are going to get on it. So we've got to get out of this topsy-turvy world, and we have a leader who is allowing this to take place. We saw this in UK just this last few days. We were hoping to see someone more conservative. And actually, Sunak, who is considered a conservative, is nowhere near conservative. He is a centrist or even a little bit more left-leaning than even America. Now, think about this. He just lost overwhelmingly to someone who is completely, utterly liberal. And not only that, he has already spoken about change and wanting more immigration, wanting more rights for Muslims in his country. So he's not worried about the UK people. He's not worried about the English people. He's not worried about Great Britain. He's worried about bringing in more mass migration. And that's actually who overwhelmingly supported him. So are we going to allow that to happen in America? Well, we're already starting that, because what we're doing is we're allowing them to burn the American flag and replace the American flag with a rainbow flag or a pro-Palestinian flag while burning American flags. That's not freedom. That is hate. And that is not assimilating to our culture and country. And that's where we should have a problem with. Now, our leader said yesterday 2 quotes, and I want you to think about this. And it's not the fact that we don't know he's senile. We all know that. We've known that for 3.5 years. So I hope that they allow him to stay in, him or Kamala, because I think it's wrong to replace him now. But I just want to show you 2 quotes he did yesterday. He says, "I'm strong, I'm good, but my brain is weak." Now, that he actually quoted that's the only thing wrong with him is his brain. That's his exact quote. That his problem is with his brain. Now, if his problem's with his brain, does that make you feel good or worse? It says, it's just my brain. Now, they said it was a joke. But do you actually think it's a joke? Because here's this next quote that you need to look at. He said he was the first African-American female president. That was a good one. And so was he talking about Kamala was coming in? Was he talking about himself? He called himself the first black president. Now, I don't know about you, but he served under Obama, and then he's serving with Kamala. And I don't know if he just got his whole story mixed up, his lies mixed up, but that's the kind of conversations that he's having. So did you see the fact that they put him out yesterday with a stain? Go back and look at the video from July 4th. He's got this random stain on this suit. Now, he's the president of the United States. Do we spill stuff on ourselves? Yeah, I was eating some ribs yesterday. I probably got a little messy. But I'm just a lowly guy from Mississippi. The leader of the free world should always look tough, strong, and staunch, and clean, and presentable. He's standing out there on Independence Day with some big grimy slime on him. And I think they're allowing that to happen because, to be honest with you, they know this is a joke of administration, but it's making us look weak across the world. So we see the fact of what UK is doing. Are we going in the same way? Are we trending with the same way? Well, that's what happens when you have weak leaders. You have problems in the cities more. And that's exactly what is happening. Now, the last part of this is what I want to really talk about. These cities are all ran by Democrats, all ran by uber liberals, who are now complaining about the migrant issue, but they're allowing it to still take place. They're still funding huge amounts of money. Did you see New York City is fixing to up their amounts of gift cards and credit cards, prepaid credit cards for immigrants? It's going to cost New York millions of dollars. They said upwards of even a few billion. Now, that's crazy to me. But it's amazing that we keep allowing these people to be elected. UK is having the same issues. But you know what? They just elected someone that's even more liberal than Sunak. So someone who is even pushing for more of this kind. And that's the same with the states. You may say Newsom is bad, and he is bad. He's bad to me. But California keeps overwhelmingly electing him. And when they wonder why they have blackouts and brownouts all the time. They wonder why they have to pay so much more for all this stuff because of all these extra taxes, but we keep electing them. So this is where I'm coming to you and saying this. Biden made this comment about, after aid he struggles. He also made the comment about, the fact of his brain issues. And every one of those Democrats still said they're supporting him. After that meeting, they're still gaslighting everybody in politics and everybody in the media that they're still riding with Biden. Now think about that. They know he's senile. They even heard him say some things. They have sat with him. And all of a sudden they still are saying he's the man for the job. It shows how much they truly hate freedom and hate the right, the people who want freedom and wants liberty and even wants Trump. That's what we're dealing with. It's not even wrong or right anymore. It's not even truth and lies. It's let's cover up it and we're going to keep on lying. Now, last story I want to talk about. New York Times came out and said that they honestly believe that Biden is not running the White House anymore. Now, this is a leftist agenda, leftist push news organization. And they said, well, it's actually Jill and Biden's sister and a whole mess of attorneys that serve alongside them. Not only that, new reports show that Hunter Biden is actually being in these meetings with his father. Also, he is being in the White House. Now, if you remember a few years back when Trump was putting Ivanka and Jared in leadership, which I don't like Jared, but I'm saying, for instance, he was putting those in leadership and everybody was against him putting leadership roles to family. However, we have a president now who is allowing pretty much 3 or 4 members of his family to sit in because he can't understand. But he's supposed to be the person for the job. Now, I don't want to replace him. That's not what I'm saying. But remember, when we go to vote in November, if he's still getting 30 to 35%, 40% of the votes, even if he loses, think about the people who voted for him. Think of how easily they were swayed. Think how much they don't want you to have freedoms and liberties because they're willing to vote for someone who has no knowledge of what's going on, who is weak, and who wants to keep spending their money and take it from them and also take more of their freedoms to where they have less control of their own lives. And they're willing to still vote for it. So that's the problem I have. The politics that are still lying about Biden's condition and still saying they support it. Gavin came out and said, I unequivocally, I hate that word, that's such a politician word, I unequivocally support him and I would never not back him. He's saying that knowing the shape that Biden's in. And that's more scary, I think, than anything else we talk about, is that when people knowingly know he is failing and still support it. You can't tell me that's not a bigger agenda happening behind closed doors. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Who's running the White House? Well, it should be our president, but it's not. And then again, do we really want to look like these cities? These cities are representing what UK is now. Is that what we want here? For some reason, we're allowing them to burn the American flag, but then if a teen runs over a road that's got colors on it, he's considered doing hate. We need help. And it starts with fixing our families, fixing our cities, and getting a better leader who's willing to lead. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the 4th with your family. God bless.